Michelle, Manny from My Hectic Life Pets, where we talk about all things pet and pet related. And today we're going to talk about the Pac-Man frog. Now, Pac-Man frog is actually just a nickname for several different species of horned frogs. So the Pac-Man frog aptly got its name from the way that it eats. It has a huge gaping mouth, so when it eats, it looks like Pac-Man. So Pac-Man frog is a sit and wait type of predator. They don't really need a very large space to jump around. They tend to just burrow themselves into the substrate and wait for prey to come along. Now, Pac-Man frogs can have quite a few things in their diet. Dubia roaches and crickets are a great staple, but they also enjoy night crawlers, the occasional pinky mouse, and things like that. Now, if you do feed pinkies, you don't want to overfeed. You don't want to feed them that often, no more than once a month, because they are really high in fat and they're not actually very nutritious for your frog. Now, because Pac-Man frogs are a sit and wait type of predator, they don't need a very large tank. Adult Pac-Man frogs need about a 10-gallon short tank. Now, baby Pac-Man frogs or juvenile frogs need about a 5-gallon tank to keep them in while they're still small so they can find their food easily. For their tank setup, you of course will need a hygrometer and a thermometer in your tank. You will want to make sure that the temperature of the tank stays between 75 and 85 degrees. If your tank does not get up to 75 degrees, if it is too cold, you might need to purchase an under the tank mat. Because Pac-Man frogs are kept in such a shallow tank, having things like heat lamps can actually end up kind of burning and overheating your frog. So they do best with the under the tank mats, but you might want to put a towel over that so that it doesn't get too hot on the tank bottom. Otherwise, when your frog goes to burrow under the substrate, they might burn themselves. With the hygrometer, you're going to want to make sure to monitor that the tank's humidity stays between 40 to 80%. If the humidity starts to drop below 40%, then you will know it's time to remist your tank. You don't want it to go above 80% in humidity in the tank because this can cause mold to grow on your substrate. Now, for substrate for your frog, something like a coconut fiber substrate is going to be great. It holds a lot of humidity and it allows the frogs to burrow, which is going to be their natural instinct. I recommend avoiding adding things like moss to your tank because they can become a problem if you feed your frogs in the tank, as if they ingest any, it can cause obstruction. Now, for tank decor, you can go as far as you want or you can keep it minimal. You do want to keep in mind that Pac-Man frogs do kind of bulldoze over things, so if you are adding live plants or things like that, you'll probably want to keep it in the corners of the tank where the frog is less likely to knock it over and trample it. Now, of course, they will need a shallow water dish. These frogs are not strong swimmers, so you want the frog to be able to easily jump in and out of the water. They do like to sit and soak in their water bowls. Mine do all the time, so I'm constantly having to change the water in the tank, but that's okay. Of course, you'll want a mister bottle of some sort, and you'll want to use dechlorinated water for their drinking water as well as for the mister bottle. So the adult Pac-Man frog usually reaches between 4 to 8 inches. Males tend to be on the smaller side, reaching about 4 inches, while the females tend to be between 5 and 7 inches when they're finished growing. For more information about how to determine the sex of your frog, I will put a link in the description below to my video on that. So there's a big debate as to whether or not these frogs need UVB bulbs. They are nocturnal, and most people say that they don't need UVB. If you do decide to get a UVB, I would get a very low wattage UVB. These frogs have very sensitive skin, especially if you own one of the albino variety like I do. They can have extremely sensitive skin and can easily have their skin damaged. Now, of course, whether you use a UVB bulb or you don't, you always want to make sure that you add a calcium supplement. So when you are feeding, you'll want to make sure that at least twice a week you are dusting those crickets or roaches off with a little bit of calcium vitamin D3 supplement powder. So the Pac-Man frog is more of an observational type pet. So you really don't want to handle them a whole lot. It actually can really hurt them if you do handle them, as the oils in our skin can actually damage the frog. So when you do handle your frog, I recommend only handling them when you're changing out their substrate, just to put them into a tote or whatever you're going to be housing them in while you clean out their tank. Other than that, if you're going to have to pull them out more frequently, then you'll probably want to wear gloves on your hands so that you're not potentially hurting the frog. You do want to make sure that you provide fresh water every day for them, because again, they have very sensitive skin. They absorb moisture into their skin. So if you have dirty water bowls that are getting bacteria in them, that bacteria can cause illness with your frog. So Pac-Man frogs can make a really nice beginner pet. They're really easy to care for, they're not a whole lot of work, and they're kind of fun to watch, especially when they're eating. Okay, so that's all for today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel where I post new videos every week. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!